Hey guys, I hope all of you are doing good. So this is C Ayush Goyal, and we are going to start with uh, cost to quality, which is today's topic. Look, I've already told you guys how we are going to proceed ahead. I've already told you the precedents, and this lecture is basically related to cost to quality. Okay. So if you guys have any confusion why the cost to quality is coming first, so you can go to my intro lecture and you guys can see from there how we are going to proceed ahead. Okay. Further, along with that, I've already told you that we are not going to discuss the things we are not going to actually read the things from the material. I'll make you guys understand everything which is available in your material, but not going to read anything from there. Okay, we guys can simply understand the things, understand each and every concept which is there in your material, and when you will go back and read the theory which is available there, you will be able to understand those things easily. And after understanding the things, I'll solve some of the questions available in your material. Now, what type of question I will solve? I've already told you that I'll solve question from CA final study material as well as CMA final study material, because both the materials have good quality of questions. But since in this chapter cost to quality, the question is not available in CMA final study material related particularly to this topic, but there is a question in CA final study material. So what I will do, I'll basically upload both the materials on the portal, where you can find the materials in the resource section of intro lecture. The intro part, which is the lecture one, you can find the resources in that section only. Okay. And further, if you guys have any doubt, I've already shared with you guys my mail. Even I want you guys to mail me as and when you join the course. I'll add you guys to a WhatsApp group where we can have an interactive discussion. Okay, with other students. We can solve the doubts. You know, I'll take doubts from different students and I'll try to solve those doubts so that if you guys have any similar problem, so the concept would be clear for you guys as well. Okay. And the more problems come, the more solutions come, and with more solutions the concept become very clear. So let me share with you guys my mail ID again. It is, one second, AYUS090198@gmail.com. Probably I've shared this mail in intro lecture as well, but you can write it down, and you guys simply put me a mail as and when you join the course. Okay. What will happen? I'll add you to WhatsApp group where we can have an interactive discussion. So okay, so let's start with cost of quality. I have already told you that I'll upload the material, the study material, in the intro part resources, so you can extract it from there. And along with that, I'll upload this slide as well on the resources part of with every lecture. So if you guys are not writing the things, you guys can take it from here. But even I'll recommend you guys that for better understanding, it would be better if you guys write the things which I'm telling you. So what would happen with that? You will have a good grab over the concept. You guys will be able to see from your notes available with you. And when you write it on your own hand writing, so it becomes really easy to understand the things. So that's why I'm saying that I would prefer if you guys write the things. So no issue. Okay, so let's go ahead. What is cost to quality? So, what comes in your mind when you read the word cost to quality? What comes in your mind even when I say with the word quality? So, what I feel that the quality is a very subjective thing. Okay, suppose for me something is quality, but for someone else that thing cannot be a quality. Now, let me take an example let me take example of car. Suppose for you guys the Fortuner can be a quality, but for Anil Ambani it's not a quality. It's possible. So quality is basically a very subjective thing, but here we are not discussing about that quality. That quality is certainly belongs from customer. We are talking from the view of supplier, from the view of manufacturer. We are calculating the cost of quality of a manufacturer. So we will not say that the thing we are manufacturing is not quality. The product would be same, the brand would be same, but what does we mean by quality is doing the things in the best way. Whatever you are producing, whatever you are manufacturing, if you are doing that manufacturing part or production part in your best, then that would be a quality. Okay, now let me elaborate the thing more for you. We are discussing cost to quality. I can also call it quality cost. The things, I think the thing that is coming in your mind while reading the quality cost is cost to quality means the cost which we are incurring for making the product more in the quality, the good in the quality, I can say. So quality basically for supplier is using your potential in the best way. Suppose you are having the potential and you are not using that in the best way, that is not a quality. But for the supplier, what is quality is using your potential is the best way is the quality. Now, what can be the cost to quality? Look, the cost to quality can be bifurcated in two parts. One is cost to good quality. Definitely. Cost to good quality. And second is cost to bad quality. Now, what is cost to good quality and cost to bad quality? So guys, cost to good quality. Cost to good quality is, suppose you are having the potential and you are incurring the cost of using that potential in your best way. That is the cost to quality. Cost to good quality, sorry. And now what is cost to bad quality? Cost to bad quality is the cost that you are incurring because of not using your potential in the best way. I know that you didn't get the things in that better way. So let me give another example. Let me stick first to cost to good quality. Suppose your machinery, suppose let me take an example of machinery. Your machinery has a potential of manufacturing 100 products in a day. Suppose that is the maximum thing, that maximum production that can be done by the machinery. Now what would be the cost of good quality? The cost of good quality is cost of maintaining the production of that machinery to 100. Definitely it cannot go beyond 100 because it has a potential of making 100 products in a day. But if it is not even making 100 products in a day, that is the cost of bad quality. And what is the cost of good quality? The cost of good quality is keeping the production by that machinery to 100. Now what cost you can incur to maintain the production to 100? You guys might know that when we see the advertisement of Scooty or Activa, it comes over there that the Activa is giving the mileage of 60 kilometer per hour. But we all know that the Activa usually do not give that much mileage. The mileage used to be 40 to 50, 40 I can say, 45 I can say. Okay. So here, what is that 15? That 15 is cost to bad quality. For you, that 15 is cost to bad quality. Now, suppose my scooty is giving 60 kilometer per hour. 60 kilometer per liter. The mileage of 60. Okay. So if my scooty is giving 60 kilometer per liter and your scooty is giving only 45 kilometer per liter, why it's occurring? Why there is a difference of 60 and 45? We both have scooty, we both have Activa. Then why we both have Activa 3G? Even be more specific, we both have Activa 3G. Why my scooty is giving 60 and your scooty is giving 45 only? The reason is I usually on every monthly or in a 2-month duration, I used to put my scooty for repairs. I can say for maintenance, the oiling and everything used to be changed in every 2 months. That's why my scooty is performing at its best. Okay, that's why it's giving the mileage of 60. And since you do not do that, your scooty is not giving the mileage of that up to that way which the potential it has. So what is here the cost of good quality is, I can say, in the example of scooty, the cost to in the example of, I can say, scooty, for me the cost of good quality is my repair, or I can say oiling cost, which I used to incur every month, or I can say in the duration of 2 months, I incur the cost of oiling and repairs. So that is my cost to good quality. Now, for you guys, what is cost to bad quality is? For you guys, the cost of bad quality is 15 kilometer per liter. For every liter, you are able to travel 15 kilometer less, or you are traveling 15 kilometer less. Or I can say for every for every next 15 kilometer, you have to incur some more cost of petrol. So that is for you guys the cost of bad quality. Now for incurring that uh, repair and oiling cost, what I'm saving, for every liter I'm saving 15 kilometer. This is basically cost. This thing is cost. And what I'm gaining 15 kilometer. Now what you guys are gaining, you guys are gaining repair or oiling cost, or this is basically saving. If money is not going from your pocket, this is basically your gain. It's as simple as that. Okay, so either you're not gaining anything, but you're saving the things, and since you are saving, you are gaining in that way. So this is the cost of good quality and for cost of bad quality. In the same way, for a machinery, if I take the example of machinery, the machinery has potential of 100 products in one day. For whole one day shift, I can say for 24 hours, my machinery work and it produce 100 products. Okay, but suppose your machinery is producing only 90 product. If your machinery is producing only 90, the cost of bad quality is 10 product per day for you guys. And if my machinery is producing up to full of its potential, I can say 100 products per day, what is cost to good quality for me? For me, cost to good quality is the repair which I used to do, or the maintenance which I used to do, every month or 2 month basis on my machinery. So that is, it is for me cost to good quality, and for you cost of bad quality is 10 product. Okay, so this is basically what I've given you an example of cost to good quality and cost to bad quality. Now, let me tell you guys what is there in your material. What is cost to good quality? Look, cost to good quality in the same way, which I've told you. What is cost to good quality? I can say prevention cost. What is prevention cost? And second is appraisal cost. This is cost to good quality. Now, what is cost to bad quality? Cost to bad quality, I can say internal failure cost. Internal failure cost and external failure cost. These four consolidately become cost to quality, or quality cost. Now, we have understood what is cost to quality or quality cost. I can say prevention cost, appraisal cost, internal failure cost, external failure cost. For you guys, the cost to quality can be either maintaining cost which are incurring due to maintenance of good quality, or cost you are incurring due to maintenance for bad quality. There are only two things, either yes or no. If you are maintaining good quality, yes. If you are maintaining bad quality, it's no. For maintaining, for yes, there are two costs. For maintaining good quality, there are two costs: prevention and appraisal. For maintaining bad quality, there are again two costs: internal failure and external failure. I don't think there's any confusion with that. Now, what is prevention, appraisal, internal failure, and external failure? That can be a question. That can be a legit question. So let me take the question. What is prevention cost? Prevention cost. Look, prevention cost is preventing the mishappening which is going to incur in the future. The cost which you guys are incurring, the cost which you are incurring for preventing the mishappening which is going to happen in the future. Now, what it can be? Suppose, let me take an example of factory. Okay, you might have seen the fire extinguisher there. Fire extinguisher is that it's filled with the carbon dioxide, and whenever the fire fire takes place, that is used to control the fire. So that is fire extinguisher. I hope you guys know that thing. So what is fire extinguisher? The cost of fire extinguisher. Cost of fire extinguisher is basically prevention cost. So example में अगर लूँ prevention cost, if I take the example of prevention cost, so what is the example of prevention cost? Cost of fire extinguisher. Okay, so cost of fire extinguisher is basically example of prevention cost. Okay, now if I am doing quality audits, suppose for any organization, what used to do, what organization used to incur the prevention cost? In every I can say month, or I can say for yearly basis, organization used to conduct the quality checkup, the quality testing, the quality audits. That is basically the prevention cost. Look, the prevention cost is not incurring any value, not adding any value to your organization, but it's actually preventing the mishappening which can occur in the future. That is called the prevention cost. In your material, some examples are given, which is very easy to understand. If you understand the prevention cost, those examples are easy to understand. So you guys can read the example and let me know if you have any problem. So I've explained you the prevention cost. I hope you guys have understood what is prevention cost. Prevention cost is cost to prevent the mishappening which can occur in the future. It is prevention cost. The second cost is appraisal cost. Appraisal cost basically is increasing performance of something. And this is preventing mishappening. Now, increasing performance of something. What does I mean when I say the word increasing the performance of something? So for me, what can be the appraisal cost? Look, for me, the appraisal cost can be, if I take the example of machinery, I have already given you the example. The oiling of the machinery can be my appraisal cost, because it is increasing the quality of my machinery. It is increasing the performance of my machinery. So it is basically the appraisal cost, because it is appraising the performance. So I can say oiling machinery is my appraisal cost. Now, what is internal failure cost? I am done with the cost of good quality. Now I'm coming cost of bad quality. What is internal failure cost? Look, internal failure cost, as the name suggests, is cost of failure which is occurring within your organization. What is cost of, let me write first, cost of failure occurring in your organization. Suppose that I put 5,000 raw material, okay, for processing. I'm putting 5,000 units of raw material for processing, and suppose I am getting only 4,800 finished goods. So for me, what is internal failure cost? Internal failure cost is going to be 200 units. For me, internal failure cost is going to be 200 units. So this is basically internal failure cost. Okay. So what is internal failure cost? Cost of failure which is occurring within your organization is internal failure cost. Now, fourth is external failure cost. Now, what is external failure cost? External failure cost is basically the cost of failure which is occurring outside the organization. Cost of failure occurring outside your organization. Now it is cost of failure occurring outside the organization. Suppose I'm after packing 4,800 finished goods. Uh, Suppose I have packed the 4,800 finished goods and I have sold it to customers. But suppose I'm getting 100 units in return from customer due to bad quality, or I can say the customer is not satisfied with this, or I can say the product which is there delivered to customer is somewhere defective. The customer found it defective and the customer returned it us back. So this is cost of external failure. Matlab cost of failure which is not incurring within our organization but it is occurring outside the organization. This is cost of external failure. Example, out of 4,800 finished goods sold, we get 1,000 back because it was damaged. This is, I can say, cost of external failure. So we guys, we have discussed the cost of internal failure, cost of external failure, prevention cost, and appraisal cost. So I hope you guys have understood what is all those four cost of quality. Okay. Still, if you guys have any problem, I've given you the mail ID. Just write me a mail. I'll add you to WhatsApp group and we can discuss your problem there. Okay. So again, so we guys are done with cost to quality. But there is one very important topic. It is, the economic cost of quality. Economic, sorry, one second. I hope you guys are able to see now. Economic cost to, quality, or I can say optimum cost to quality. Optimum cost to quality. Now, what is economic cost to quality or optimum cost to quality? Let me make you understand the topic first. Look, we incur prevention cost and appraisal cost to reduce our failure. And we incur the cost of internal failure or external failure because we have not incurred prevention and appraisal cost. Okay, we guys have understood that thing because we have discussed that thing in detail. But what is economic cost to quality or optimum cost to quality? Suppose, let me give you an example. Suppose I okay, so I'm manufacturing. Suppose, and take an example of anything. Suppose Maggi only. Okay, suppose I'm manufacturing Maggi. I have the plant of Maggi, so I manufacture Maggi. Okay, now what could be the prevention appraisal cost for me? I can say the the machine in which the Maggi is made, the good care of that machinery, that can be a cost of good quality. Okay, but suppose I am incurring 1,000 rupee cost on that product, that thing only, for for maintenance of the machinery or these things. But suppose if I do not maintain the machinery, I'll incur the cost of 500 only. For due to failure, I'll incur the cost of 500, and for preventing that failure, I'm incurring the cost of 1000. So is that economic? Is that good for incurring the cost of 1000 rupees to prevent the cost of 500? I think no. You guys will say no. Okay, suppose second example, uh, I do not incur any cost on my machinery for good quality. Means I do not incur any cost of prevention appraisal on my machinery. But due to that, I am incurring a loss of 500 rupees. So is that good? Again, no. Again, no. So what should be there? There should have been a balance between both. You cannot reduce your defect to zero. That is the thing, that you cannot reduce your defect to zero, but you have to keep it to the optimum level, to that level where you're not incurring much cost on even on good quality or bad quality, and your profit is going to increase due to that cost to quality. Your cost to quality is there to increase your profit. It should not decrease your profit. Okay, so every time the cost of good quality is not good, sometimes the cost of bad quality can also be measurable, or I can say it is also manageable. Sometimes cost to bad quality as well. Let me take another example. Suppose let me take example of my plant. Okay, last day what happened in my plant, one thief came and he there was a theft which occurred of around I can say 1000 rupees. Okay, he stole the material of 1000 rupees, and for that what I did, I called the security agency, and I called 4 security guards, and now that those security guards are occurring with the cost of 1200 rupees. So is that good? I mean, is that good for occurring the cost of 4 security guards? Because my factory, my plant is very big, so that's why I require four, or I can say 2 or 4 security guards over there to keep eyes on whole plant. So is it good? Is it good to incur the cost of 1200 on the on security to prevent the failure of just 1000 rupees? I think no, definitely no. But suppose I'm if I'm uh, if I'm appointing only 2 security guards rather than 4, I'm appointing 2 security guards. My failure cost, or I can say there used to be earlier there used to be the thievery of 1000 rupees every month, but now what is incurring these days? The frequency is reduced to once in 2 months. So let me write down earlier. Security. Okay. Earlier, there used to be the, I can say 1000 rupee. There used to be the theft of 1000 rupee per month. Or I can say every month I used to incur 1000 rupee law due to thieveries. Okay. And there was no cost of security. So I can say per year, my cost was 12,000 rupees and no cost to security. Now what I've done, and security. Now what I've done, uh, I've appointed 4 security guards, 4 guard, rupee 300 per month per guard. And due to this, my theft has come to zero. Okay, there is no more thievery in my plant. Okay, due to this, what I'm incurring, my per year cost is zero. But for this, I can say 12 multiplied by 1200, 14,400 rupee I am incurring every year on those security guards. Now you say, is this good decision? For incurring appointing 4 security guard in your plant, is this a good decision? I know you would say no, because you are incurring the cost of 12,000 rupees only. every month you used to incur cost of 12,000 rupees, and due to preventing those 12,000 rupees, you are now incurring the cost of 14,400. Is this good? It is just an example. Don't say that it will, give you additional benefits. Don't say that he can bring you, something else. This is just an example. Now, third scenario. Now, what is now? I can say theft and security. Suppose I appointed only 2 security guard, and at the rate of rupee 300 per month per guard. But due to those two, since my plant requires 4 security guard, but since I appointed only 2 security guard, there is still the chances of thievery. But I can say it is reduced to एक second. I suppose it's reduced to rupee 1,000 in every 3 months. Or I can say the frequency is that after every 3 months, or in every 3 months, there used to be the thievery of around 1,000 rupees. So in this case, what is the cost of the loss which I'm incurring due to the theft? I'm incurring the cost of, I can say, 1,000 multiplied by 4, or 4,000. Now, what is the cost I'm incurring on security guards? I can say 2 multiply 300 multiply by 12. I am paying security guard 7,200 per year. This is yearly. Now, what is the total cost in this third case? It is 4,000 plus 7,200. I can say 11,200 is the total cost which I'm incurring due to internal failure, or I can say, sorry, failure cost and prevention cost. Due to both cost of good quality and cost of bad quality, I'm incurring total cost of 11,200 rupees per year. Here, in this case, how much cost I'm incurring? I'm incurring 14,400 per year. In this case, how much I'm incurring? I'm incurring 12,000 per year. Now, out of these three, which is the best? This one is the best, and this is called economic cost of quality. The cost of quality should be in that way that even if you are not able to reduce your defect to 0, but still you would be able to manage the things in that way that your profit should be maximized. Okay, this is called economic cost of quality. Now, let me tell this thing with the help of a graph, and after that we'll solve a question, and I think that would be sufficient for this topic, cost to quality. Still, if you have any doubt, I have given you my mail ID. You can simply mail me over there. Okay, guys. So let me make a graph for you. It's available in CA Final study material. You can see it from there. I told that I'll upload both the study material in intro section resources. The resources in intro part, you can find it from there. Okay. And you can specifically request me on mail as well or WhatsApp as well. Okay. So suppose here, let me make you the defect percentage. Suppose 1% defect, 2% defect, 3% defect, and 4% defect. And in black, I'll prepare good quality. In red, I'll prepare the cost of bad quality. And in yellow, I'll prepare total cost. Sorry. Okay. So now, for me, what would be the cost of good quality? For 1% defect, guys, 1 second. This is defect. This is defect. Okay. Look, for 1% defect, if you wanted to incur only 1% defect, what would be the cost of good quality? for incurring less defect, the lesser defect, you have to incur more cost on, I can say, good quality or prevention cost and appraisal cost. You have to incur more cost on, oiling the machinery and repair the machinery if you want to reduce the cost of failure or the cost of defect. If you wanted to reduce, you have to incur more cost on, repair and maintenance. So cost of good quality is going to be higher. This is basically the cost here I'm showing on this, uh, um, cost. This is cost and this is defect. This is defect and this is cost. So I can say for 1%, the cost of good quality is going to be higher. For 2%, the cost of good quality, if you are able to manage the defect up to 2%, that you can say that I am satisfied with 2% defect, then I can say the prevention cost would be lesser, or appraisal cost would be lesser, or you are able to somewhere negotiate your appraisal and prevention cost to lesser. You are able to bear more loss. If you are able to bear more loss on failure, you can incur even lesser cost on appraisal or good quality cost. So I can say for 2%, your good quality cost would be lesser. For 3%, it would even be lesser. In 4% it would be lesser. So I can say it will flow something like this. Don't mind the points. Okay, now what for the bad quality? For bad quality, suppose if you with 4% defect, your bad quality cost would be more. For 4%, if there would be 4% defect, then the cost of bad quality would be more. That is not an issue. For 3%, the cost of bad quality means the failure cost would be more. The more the defect would be, the failure cost would be more, definitely. For 2%, the failure cost would be somewhere less, and for 1%, it would be very less. So I can say the graph would be something like somewhere like somewhere like this. This is the cost of bad quality. Now what would be the cost of total quality? uh, I can say for 1%, the cost of failure is going to be very less, but cost of appraisal or prevention is going to be high. So total cost would be high. But this graph would somewhere become like this. Okay, it would be the total cost would be least at this point. What is this point? This point is this point where both of the cost of good quality and cost of bad quality are intersecting each other. Why? What does it imply? It imply that you have to manage your cost of good quality and cost of bad quality in that way that your total cost would be lesser. So I can say this point would be your economic cost of quality. Economic cost of quality. Okay. So I hope you guys are clear with economic cost of quality or optimum cost of quality. That at this point, your total cost would be least. The total cost would comprise both failure cost and prevention cost, but the total cost would be least at this point, at this very point. Okay. So like this, I can say that since the total cost would be least, this would be the best point. So you can bear, somewhere 2.5% defect. You can somewhere bear 2.5% defect. Why 2.5% defect? Because the total cost is least at this point. I hope you guys are clear with this economic cost of quality or optimum cost of quality. Still, if you have any doubt, you guys can simply mail me. Wait a second. Okay. So now let me discuss one question from CA final study material with you. and after that we'll wind up the class. Here's the question. Livewell Limited is a manufacturing company that produces a wide range of customer product for home consumption. There's no question in CMF and study material related to that topic. That's why I'm doing only one question from CFNL. Okay. So among the popular product are its energy efficient and environment friendly LED bulb. So Livewell Limited used to manufacture the LED bulbs. Okay. I can say the energy efficient LED bulb, it is one of its product. The company has quality control department to monitor the quality of production. Okay. As per the recent cost of poor quality report, the current rejection rate for LED lamp is 5%. So I can say, wait a second. Cost of poor quality. You are not able to see that. I'm writing it in my sheet. 5%. Poor units. And total production is 5,000 unit. It's given. Okay. Each unit which is rejected is costing a loss of 200 rupees. So cost of each rejection is rupee 200 per unit, I can say. Okay. Now the quality control department has proposed few changes to inspection. Okay. Now they are costing. Inspection means cost of good quality. Inspection means good quality cost. Okay. Which would be able to detect the defection at the early stage. Okay. This would reduce the overall rejection rate from 5% to 3%. Now due to proposal, the cost of bad quality would be 3%. It would be it would be brought down from 5% to 3%, but it will incur cost of proposal. Due to inspection, we are incurring the cost of rupees 15,000 per day. Due to this inspection, we are going to incur 15,000 each day. So analyze the proposal and suggest whether it is beneficial for the company. So guys, I have written the question here. Okay, I have summarized the question. I would even recommend you, whenever you are solving the question, you should also summarize this thing. It like this. Okay. So the cost of poor quality. The cost of poor quality is 5%. Means we are manufacturing 5,000 units a day, and out of those 5,000 units manufactured 5% units used to be defective. So I can say answer. I'll write the answer in red. Okay, so I can say that defective units, how much defective unit we manufacture out of 5,000, we manufacture 5% defective. I can say 250 units defective we manufacture. Okay, and I can say cost of one unit defective, I can say 200 rupees. It's written over here that 200 rupees is the cost of rejection. So I can say total failure cost. What is the total failure cost? I can say 250 multiplied by 200. Okay, so this is 50,000. This is the total failure cost which I am incurring presently. Now there is a proposal. Due to the proposal, what would be the total defect now? It will reduce the defect from 5% to 3%. Okay, due to this proposal, our defect would be reduced to 3% from 5%. So what is defect now. What is the defect now? 5,000 units multiply by 3% because we are still incurring the defect of 3%. We are not, reducing the defect to 0. We are still incurring the defect of 3%. So what is total defect now? Defect is, 150 units, I can say. In this proposal, the defect is 150 units, and cost of each defect, it would be same, which is rupees 200. So what is the cost of defective unit? Cost of defective unit. The cost of defective unit is, I can say, 150 multiplied by 200. So it is 30,000 rupee. So this is cost of failure. Cost of failure. We are still incurring the cost of failure of 30,000. Further, there is one more cost which we are incurring, the cost of inspection. What is the cost of inspection? The cost of inspection is 15,000 rupees. So I can say the total cost which I am incurring due to the proposal is 45,000 rupees. The total cost which I am incurring due to the proposal is 45,000. And earlier, what cost used to be there? 50,000. So what would you say? Should we go with the proposal or not? So we should go with the proposal because we are getting saving of rupee 5,000 due to proposal. I hope you are able to get this question. Now there is second part as well of the question. 1 second. After implementation, analyze the maximum rejection rate beyond with the proposal cause to be beneficial. Means the maximum cost of the proposal, I can say. Maximum rejection rate. Sorry, it's asking about maximum rejection rate. Sorry. So it's asking about maximum rejection rate which we can incur. Okay, so let me do it from here only. Look, okay, sir. So let me go to that only. Let us solve on the sheet so that all the complete question would be a single part. Now the second part, maximum rejection rate due to. Now this is somewhere mathematics. Acceptable. Look, we know that the cost of proposal is 15,000. We know that thing, that the cost of proposal is 15,000. Means we are incurring the additional cost of 15,000 due to proposal. Due to this proposal, we are incurring the additional cost of 15,000. Okay. So now when we will accept this proposal, we will accept when at least 15,000 is saved due to proposal. I can say when at least 15,000 is saved due to proposal, then we will accept the proposal. Okay. My current failure cost kitni hai? How much is my current failure cost? The current failure cost, I can say, is 50,000. Okay. Now, what maximum failure cost I am ready to incur after this proposal? minimum saving, I can say minimum saving I want with this proposal is 50,000, 15,000. So I can say that maximum failure cost which I am able to bear. If my failure cost is beyond 35,000, I will not accept the proposal. So maximum failure cost which I am able to bear is 35,000 after this proposal. Okay. Now I can say if 35,000 is my maximum failure, if I am able to bear 35,000 in 35,000 rupees failure cost, now convert it in units. So in unit term, I can say simply divide it with 200. 35,000 divided by 200. Why 200? Because one unit cost is 200. So I can say maximum unit which I'm able to lose is 175 unit. So maximum unit which I'm able to lose after this proposal is 175. Okay, is 175 units. So if even after the proposal, if I'm incurring the loss of 175 unit, I'll able to bear it. I'm able to, take the proposal. Now, if it is less than 175, great. If it is even 176 unit, I'll not accept the proposal. Okay. So if loss is more than 175, not accept. If loss is less than 175, accept the proposal. Now I can convert it in percentage as well. I can say 175 divided by 5,000 multiplied by 100. Okay, so how much it is going to be? 3.5%. So I can say maximum reduction which I am able to bear is 3.5%. I hope it is clear for you guys. Okay, let's see it from here as well. So beyond 3.5% rejection, the proposal will not be beneficial. So this is, guys, the complete cost of quality. We have done the cost of quality in detail. I hope you guys are able to understand it. If you have any problem, please let me know. So this is all for today from my side. I hope you enjoyed this session. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.